What would you do if everyone around you believed your dream was impossible? Would you give up? Or would you keep believing in yourself? This is the story of Anika, a girl who faced this exact choice. Welcome to Divine Bright Light, where every story carries a message and every moment inspires growth, inner strength, and positive change. Let this story light a new path in your mind. Today's story reminds us of a quiet truth about life. Let's begin. Believe in yourself even when no one else does. The story of Anika. In a small town in India lived a quiet girl named Anika. Anika was not the type of student teachers praised. She wasn't the class topper. She wasn't the most confident speaker, and she rarely raised her hand in class. Most people saw her as an ordinary girl with ordinary abilities. But inside Anika's heart lived a dream that felt anything but ordinary. She wanted to become a scientist. Ever since she was a child, Anika had been fascinated by the night sky. On warm evenings, she would climb to the terrace of her small house and stare at the stars. While the rest of the town slowly fell asleep, she would sit quietly under the sky and wonder about the universe. She often whispered to herself, "Someday, I want to understand all of this." But dreams often become fragile when the world around you does not believe in them. Anika came from a modest family. Her father ran a small grocery shop in the town market. He worked long hours every day just to keep the family comfortable. Her mother managed the home with careful budgeting and endless effort. They loved their daughter deeply, but like many parents facing financial struggles, they worried about practical choices. One evening during dinner, Anika gathered the courage to share her dream. She looked at her father and said softly, "Papa, I want to study science and become a scientist." Her father paused. He looked at her for a moment and then sighed gently. "Anika," he said, "those dreams are for very brilliant students in big cities. It may be better to choose something safer." His words were not meant to hurt her. They came from worry, but they still landed heavily in Anika's heart. Relatives had their opinions too. Some said, "Girls from small towns should not aim too high." Others said, "Science is very difficult. She won't manage." Slowly, these words began surrounding Anika like invisible walls. Even at school, things were not easy. Some students laughed when she talked about space and science. Her grades were good, but they were not extraordinary. One day, a teacher told her, "Anika, you are hard-working, but research and science require exceptional minds." That sentence stayed with her for many days. She began to wonder if maybe everyone was right. Maybe her dream was simply too big. Maybe she was just an ordinary girl after all. One quiet night, Anika walked up to the terrace again. The sky above her was clear and filled with thousands of stars. She stood there in silence, staring at the same sky that had inspired her since childhood. And suddenly, she remembered something her grandfather had once told her. He had said, "Stars shine the brightest in the darkest skies." Standing there alone, Anika realized something important. Everyone around her was doubting her dream. But the real question was not what they believed. The real question was, did she believe in herself? For a long moment, she stood quietly under the stars. And then she answered that question in her heart. Yes. That night, Anika made a decision that would change her life. She would stop waiting for others to believe in her. She would stop asking for approval. Instead, she would quietly start proving it to herself. The journey ahead was not easy. Anika studied late into the night under a dim table lamp, especially during frequent power cuts. Sometimes the electricity would disappear for hours, but she kept studying. She borrowed old science books from the town library. Some pages were torn, some information was outdated, but she learned everything she could. Whenever she found internet access, she watched free science lectures online. She solved problem after problem, day after day, month after month. There was no applause, no encouragement, only quiet determination. Finally, the time came for one of the most competitive science entrance examinations in the country. Students in big cities had expensive coaching classes and years of preparation. Anika had only her books, her hard work, and her belief in herself. On the morning of the exam, her hands trembled as she walked into the examination hall. For a moment, all the doubts returned. The voices of people who had questioned her dream echoed in her mind. But then she remembered the nights on the terrace, the stars above her, and the promise she had made to herself. She took a deep breath and began writing. Weeks later, the results were announced. Anika opened the results page slowly. Her heart was pounding. For a moment, she could barely breathe. Then she saw it. Her name. She had not only passed the exam, she had secured a top rank. For a few seconds, she simply stared at the screen in disbelief. Then tears slowly filled her eyes. Not tears of sadness, but tears of quiet victory. News spread quickly. The same relatives who once doubted her now praised her determination. Her teachers proudly spoke about her achievement. Her father looked at her with shining eyes and said, "I was wrong to doubt you. I am proud of you." But Anika understood something important. Her success had not started the day the results came. It had started much earlier, on that quiet night when she decided to believe in herself. Because the truth is this: many dreams do not fail because they are impossible. They fail because people stop believing in them too soon. Sometimes the world will doubt you. Sometimes people will discourage you. Sometimes even those who love you may not understand your vision. But your belief in yourself can be stronger than all the doubts around you. And sometimes, the people who doubt you today will be the ones applauding you tomorrow. If you have a dream, protect it, work for it, believe in it, even if nobody else does. Because the day you truly believe in yourself may be the day your life begins to change. Keep believing in yourself. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel for more motivational stories.